All right, let's go ahead and take a look at ionic bonds. So ionic bonds, we have the summary here. Metals and nonmetals. Metals lose, nonmetals gain. Metal becomes positive, nonmetal becomes negative. The positive and negative subtract, and then opposite charges hold the bond. So the basic idea is when we look at an ionic bond, we have a transfer. So one electron is lost from sodium and gained to potassium. So if we put some color for this, we can see that the electron that is on sodium here is going to be added to chlorine, so that one that we have here is going to be transferred over. When this loses, we get a positive charge. When this gains, we get a negative charge, and then opposite charges subtract. All right, so let's go ahead and look at an example of these. We're going to do the same thing for magnesium and oxygen. So the basic idea is we're going to create our Bohr model to start off with. So for our Bohr model, our magnesium, Mg, is going to have 12 electrons, and our oxygen is going to have 8 electrons. So magnesium, we could just draw this out. This is Mg. It's going to have 12 electrons. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. All right, so magnesium has 12 electrons. Oxygen, we look at oxygen, so it's going to have a total of 8 electrons. So oxygen, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. All right, for this bond to work, we can see we have 2 extra electrons here. We have 2 electrons missing here. So this has 2 extra. This needs 2. So the basic idea is these 2 electrons from magnesium are going to be transferred over. So we're going to have something that's going to lose. So this is going to lose 2. This is going to gain 2. So after this loses, we'll end up getting something that looks like this. So that's what we had before. So it's going to pick up these 2 extra electrons. So we'll use some color for this. So those 2 electrons are going to be added to here. So we'll get an electron here, we'll get an electron here. Okay. So after this loss, we're going to have a charge of -2 for this. So we can just kind of draw some brackets. It's going to be 2 minus. And this one here, we've lost 2. So we're going to end up with two less. So this is going to be 2 plus. So these 2 are going to stick together. The +2 and -2 are going to come together, and we get our answer. All right, if we look at the next one, sodium and oxygen, we're going to do the same thing. So oxygen, we already drew out what oxygen needs. It needs 2 electrons. It's a little sloppy, but we'll make it work. In our sodium is going to be element 11. So sodium is going to look like magnesium, except it's going to have 1 less. So for our sodium, we have those 11 electrons. So sodium wants to give 1 electron away. So this wants to lose 1. This wants to gain 2. So here's the problem. This only has 1 to give. So we can't lose more than 1 because then we'd start breaking this full layer. The whole purpose of sodium losing 1 is to remove 1 to get that full layer underneath. So what's going to happen is if we had enough sodium, we're going to have two of these happen. So we're going to draw another sodium underneath it. So we'd have two of these get transferred over. So we'll end up with the same idea here. We'll have two electrons here, here. So this is going to have lost two, one each. This is going to have gained two from these. So our final way that this is going to look, there's a lot of writing, but we'll see a shortcut later on. This is our negative one. This is going to be our oxygen. It's going to have a charge of -2. So we have the two electrons it picked up. And then attached to it is going to be two sodiums. So we can say that we're going to have our sodium plus followed by another one. So these two combine together.